Hello, this is Libby Hickson with a video tutorial for Hero Arts. Today I'm going to show a fun way to use stencils with gesso, and it creates a bit of a texture on your background and it's a great look. And I'm using the tweed pattern background stencil for my project today, the tweed pattern stencil, and I'm just putting it down with a bit of washi tape on my craft sheet. And I'm using gesso. I'm using the Claudine Helmuth Studio gesso on my project. It's what I happen to have, but really any gesso would be just fine. I'm putting it down with a palette knife, and gesso, you can find it at any craft store. It's usually in the art supply section right near the paints. And it's used in art for priming canvases, and I use it in my own art journal for kind of putting a layer down on my pages so that the paint and things I add don't seep through. And it's just a sort of acrylic paint with a binder inside, and it's kind of wonderful. There's lots of things you can do with it, and I'm just showing you one little thing. Speaking of my art journal, I'm going to take my stencil after I scoot this on over to the side. It needs to dry for a while, and so I'm going to set that there to dry. And I'm taking my art journal and I'm putting the stencil with all the leftover gesso down in my journal. It's just something that I do because I don't want to waste that gesso, and it's going to give a page a little bit of texture, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I just like to put it in my journal and set it aside to use later. So now, through the magic of video, I have a dried panel, which I had created a second one, and it's already dry, and I'm putting some ink on it using the Hero Arts ink daubers. That was neon red, and now I'm going to put a little bit of the red royal. I'm using two different shades of red to try to give some variation to the background. It's not necessary, but it does look nice. It's harder to see on the video in the end, but I can see it in real life, and you can see a little bit of difference in the shades of red. So I put it all over, and I'm going to grab my water pen. You could use a paintbrush with water. I'm just trying to wet the surface and blend it all together, and also wet what's on top of the gesso so it comes up a little easier. And I'm taking a paper towel and just wiping it off, and you can see that where the gesso is, it remains white. It's actually kind of pink. It's a light pink. And to me, this kind of looks like candy cane. It reminds me of candy cane anyway. So I'm going to make a Christmas card using it. And right now I'm just tying some twine around, making a little bow. It's just one of my little decorations on my background. So I'm trying to get that just how I like it. And now I'm going to put together my card base. I'm just putting a panel of snow layering paper on a craft sheet that's been cut down to a card size. And I'm going to put on my panel using some foam tape. I usually use a roll, but I happen to have these little squares, so I'm just cutting them up and putting them down. And once I get them all on there, I need to take all the papers off and get it stuck down on my panel. Alright, that should take care of it all. Let me put it on here, straighten it. Alright, so there's that. Now I'm going to take a tiny bit of glossy accents and stick them right behind the bow. I do that sometimes if the bow's kind of puffing up more than I want it to, and that just kind of holds it down in place. Now I grabbed my wood veneer bin. You can see my organization. I just did that this weekend. Anyway, I'm putting down a little bit more of the glossy accents, which is a Ranger product, and I'm poking down my wood veneer. That's a Studio Calico heart, and I'm trimming my ends, and I'm going to add a message. I'm going to use one from Lisa's Mix and Match Messages, which is a set that Lisa Spangler helped design, and it has some really great things in it. And I'm using the one that says all hearts go home for Christmas, and I'm just stamping it with black dye, and I thought that all hearts went well with the little wood veneer heart, so that's what my thinking was on that. And finally, I'm going to take a red Copic marker, any kind of alcohol marker would work, and I'm going to just color in my heart. And that's my card. I think it looks kind of cute for a Christmas card. So here's a closer look at the finished card with the glamour shot. And thank you for stopping by today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks.